2 minutes remaining. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pencils down. Show me a flag on Mr. Alicia. Excellent. Who will volunteer read for me sentence number 1? We're tracking our paper, listening to Mr. Wright. Begin, Mr. Wright. It's this one right here. Track my finger on the board. Excellent. Continue.
It is important to know about superheroes. That way you know what movies are coming out.
We're going to choose the best way to correct the run-on sentence. If you think it's A, show me 1. B, show me a 2. C, show me a 3. D, show me a 4. I have these two gentlemen voting first. Waiting on 1. Waiting on 1. Hands down. Looks like we have a mixture, which means we need to go ahead and take some notes. There are going to be 3 primary ways to combine a sentence that I'm going to teach you today, or review with you today. 3 ways to combine a sentence. A period. Used to combine 2 complete thoughts. A semicolon. It's like a little period and then a comma. Used to combine related complete thoughts. Then you have a hyphen. Continues a thought. Another way of thinking about it is usually you have a long to short sentence or short to long sentence. Hands down. I'm going to give 30 more seconds to copy this down before we go over this skill. Carter's done. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, pencils down. Mr. Rhodes first, Mr. Warren second. Remember, this is a review. Long sentence.
Long sentence.
At 80%. Long sentence.
Long sentence.
Hyphen.
Hyphen.
Short sentence.
Short sentence.
Repeat after me. I'm going to do the whole thing, then you're going to do it after me. I'm going to do the whole thing, then you're going to do it after me. Long sentence. Hyphen. Short sentence.
Long sentence. Hyphen. Short sentence.
We got to get our voices right. We're going to repeat after me. Long sentence. Hyphen. Short sentence.
Long sentence. Hyphen. Short sentence.
Good. Another way is you can have, you're going to repeat after me, after I do the entire thing. Short sentence. Hyphen. Long sentence.
Short sentence. Hyphen. Long sentence.
See, the problem is y'all keep going, hyphen. It's short sentence. Hyphen. Long sentence. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Short sentence. Hyphen. Long sentence.
Good. So, let's look at our options A, B, C, and D. Based on our chart, what are some answers we can eliminate right off the bat? Based on our chart, what are some answers we can eliminate right off the bat? Checking Jeremiah Mason. Waiting on 3 to check Jeremiah. Which can we get rid of? We can get rid of A. Why?
Because in our notes it didn't say we can use the
A colon.
color.
That's right, we can't use a colon yet. We haven't even learned that, and that's not a way to combine sentences. What's another one we can get rid of? Mr. McKinney, checking you.
C.
We can get rid of C. Thumbs up, thumbs down if we disagree. Why are you disagreeing, Mr. Garrett?
Because C is one of our notes.
That's right, we have, C's using a hyphen right here, and so we can't get rid of that one quite yet. Scroll up dot. Maybe right, maybe wrong. But what's one that's using something to combine these sentences that's not in our chart? Mr. Mason?
D.
That's right, D. Why? Well, let's think about this. Is that an option? Mr. Rose?
I'm saying B.
I want to pause you. I was saying is D an option to combine sentences?
No.
It's not? We don't have
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Why is it an option?
Because it says a period.
Very good. Do we have a period right here? Do we have a period right here?
Yes, sir.
We do. So let's go put a dot by that one. But Mr. Rhodes, what's one that we can get rid of?
B.
B. Why can we get rid of B?
Because it doesn't say a comma.
That's right. We're not just going to jam a comma in there. We're going to learn later on about coordinating conjunctions, but we can't just jam a comma in there. So we have two options. We have C that uses a hyphen, or we have D that uses a period. Which one is going to be the best one? Discuss with your shoulder partner for 10 seconds. Begin. Tracking back here in 3, 2, 1. I got Rhodes in here. So looking at our notes, what's going to be the best way to combine these two sentences? Jackson, what do you think? Checking you in the back.
I think it's a hyphen.
Hyphen, which is C. Give me a thought partner if you agree with Mr. Jackson. Thumbs down if you disagree. We've got a few naysayers. Mr. Jackson, explain to me your reasoning before we move on.
Because it says continue until.
Sorry, continues a thought. That was a typo on my part. Continues a thought. Keep going.
A thought, long to short sentence, because the kids explaining it, what we're saying is, he's explaining that it's important to know about superheroes because this is thought.
Okay, but you're saying that it's continuing his thought. How is it continuing his thought?
Because he's not finished with his sentence.
How does he finish his thought, though?
He finishes his thought by saying, that way you know what movies are coming out.
Now, Mr. Jackson, I want you to just say what I have bracketed down here.
That way you know what movies are coming.
If I came over, checking me, if I came over to Mr. Stone and I said, that way you know what movies are coming out, is that going to be a complete thought? It's really not, is it? And look at my notes. When do we use a period? Mr. Carter.
We use a period whenever we have two complete thoughts.
Complete thoughts. That way you know what's coming out. Is that a complete thought? It's not. But is that way you know what's coming out? Is that a continuation of the thought?
Yes.
Which is why we're using a what, Mr. Carter? A hyphen, which is why C is going to be our best answer. Now, looking at our notes, let's now practice. You've already done this one, but I want you to see if you've changed your mind. If you've maybe seen the light. These are not my answers. I was using a student's work, so D may or may not be the right answer. I want you to look back over your answer and see, did I get it right the first time, or after learning about hyphens, semicolons, and period, I may have changed my ways. Take about 10 to 15 seconds. One for A, 2 for B, 3 for C, 4 for D. Vote. You got 60%. Tyrus Young, checking in. Why are you holding up a 4 for D?
Because when I went to the complete sentence, I bracketed the second thought and it wasn't complete.
Could you go ahead and, so you did this, Mr. Young, like that?
Yes, sir.
Could you read that for me?
That way, you know where you land.
Mr. Howard, that way you know where you land. Is that a complete thought? So is C going to work? It's not. So Young, why don't you do a D though? Now, you did a great job explaining why C is wrong, but why did you pick D? Go Young.
Because it uses semicolon, a hyphen, which completes the thought. But in the rest, in B, it wouldn't be because you don't use that to combine a sentence.
Good.
And the comma, you would have to use a conjunction behind a comma.
Good, good. So D is a continuation of the thought. We do have a subject and a verb in each. That's why D is going to be our best answer. Snap it up if you got D. Snap it up loud and proud. I love the working swag of Mr. Howard and Mr. Mason.
Mr. Couch.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Alsea, you know the strategy that you used for the first one?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Alsea was
Oh.
that I saw who did that. He got the answer correct.
That is awesome, Charles. Say, make sure you do that in the test tomorrow, okay? Well done, well done. Okay, for this one right here, let me have a volunteer read this sentence below for me. Mr. Lewis, we're tracking your own paper. We're listening to Mr. Lewis.
Microwaves cook more dinners than any other cooking device.
If you put A, 1, B, 2, 3, C, 4, D. Everyone vote. Waiting on 1. Okay, hands down, we got a mix. If we got a mix, we need to go to our notes, and then we'll try to figure out what's going to be the best. You're going to go to plural action verbs right here. Plural action verbs. There are 2 rules you need to know. 2 rules you need to know. Plural subject equals action verb with no S. If you have a plural subject, you're going to have an action verb with no S. Singular subject is going to equal action verb with an S. These rules will make sense as soon as we look at our examples. Mr. Couch laughs or laugh when he goes to comedies. I want you to write that example, and then I want you to underline the subject of this sentence. You're writing down the rules, and then writing down my example, and you're underlining in my example the subject of the sentence. Underlining the subject of my sentence. Hey, Mr. Warren, how are you doing today? We're checking, Mr. Warren. Mr. Warren, what's going to be my subject of the sentence? Mr. Couch. Can you say that in a complete sentence?
Mr. Couch is the subject Mr. Couch is the subject of the sentence.
Now, Mr. Warren, I have a question for you. Is Mr. Couch going to be a plural subject or a singular subject? Plural. So there are lots of Mr. Couches? Why singular? Because there's just one Mr. Couch. Write S for singular. Here's a great trick that I'm sure Mr. Alice is going to do, Mr. Carter is going to do. Find the subject, write S for singular, P for plural. Now let's look at our rule. When we have a singular subject, what do we need to do with the action verb? Look at your notes. When we have a singular subject, what do we need to do with the action verb? Mr. Barnes. When we have a singular subject, all right, so look at our action verbs. Which action verb has an S, Mr. Barnes? So I need to circle this one right here? Or this one right here? Snap, do you agree? All right, let's see if y'all can do another one. Miss Nelson's cats play / plays with mice all the time. I want you to circle the subject, not circle, underline the subject of the sentence. I want you to underline the subject of the sentence. Daquan. We're tracking Daquan. What's the subject of the sentence?
The subject is Miss Nelson.
So it's just about Miss Nelson? The whole subject's about Miss Nelson? So Miss Nelson plays with the mice?
It's about Miss Nelson.
So Miss Nelson plays with the mice?
No, it's like, I mean,
So the mice plays with the cat? Miss Nelson plays with the cat. Alright, so Miss Nelson plays with the cat and then play with the mice? Wait, now I'm confused. Mr. Stone, track me in the back. Help me out. Wait, so what's the subject? So the whole subject's Miss Nelson's cats? What do you think, Mr. Stewart? Oh, Mr. Spencer, I'm sorry.
The cats.
The cats. Well done. Let's underline cats. That's what the sentence is really about. Now, Mr. Spencer, cats, singular or plural? Plural, more than one. So write a P above cats. If we have a plural subject, Mr. Spencer, look at our rule. What do we need to do with the action verb? With no S. So which one am I going to circle? Play. Very good. Let's go ahead and turn back to this question right here. Let's turn back to this question right here. What's going to be the subject of this sentence? Mr. Juarez. Jackie Juarez.
Microwave.
Microwaves. Underline microwaves. Microwaves can be singular or plural, Mr. Juarez?
Plural.
Plural. If I have a plural subject, what do I need to do with the action verb? Okay, if I have, not necessarily. What do I need to do with the action verb? Look at your rule. If I have a plural subject, what am I going to do with my action verb? Look at your rule. No S. So I got to cross out the S on cooks. Do I have an answer that matches what I just did, Mr. Juarez?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
D.
D. D is going to be the correct answer. Now that you know this rule, I want you to try to do these two practice questions by yourself. Make sure you do what Alicia is doing and Mr. Carter's doing. That means you're really marking up. You're really marking up your paper. You have 2 minutes. Begin. This is down. 5, 4, 3, 2, swag. Garrett was already there. Number 1, the carpenter drilled more holes in the wood than any other American workman. 3, 2, 1, vote. The correct answer is D, drills. Carpenter, singular. Gotta add an S. Alright, hunters kills less deer than cars in the United States. Vote 3, 2, 1. Hunters, plural. You gotta take away the S, kill. D is the correct answer. Well, well, well done. Go ahead and look at your paper. Say, guess what, action verbs?
Guess what, action verbs?
Guess what sentence combining techniques?
Guess what sentence combining techniques?
I just got ripped!
I just got ripped!
Alright, go ahead and show me swag and take out this paper I just put in front of you. We need to fix our goals. This is a quick mini lesson on author's tone, which we're really going to get into next week, but it's going to be on ANES, so we got to touch base on it. I can analyze author's tone. I can analyze author's tone. I can analyze author's tone. A few quick notes. Definition. Tone is an author's attitude toward his or her subject. Repeat after me. Tone.
Tone.
Repeat after me. Tone.
Tone.
Repeat after me. Tone.
Tone.
is an author's attitude toward his or her subject. Mr. Rose, what's going on today? It's a bucket, Mr. Mason. Thank you. You know I did not say class. Mr. Rhodes, what's going on today? Now, what is my tone towards Mr. Rhodes? How am I feeling? How am I feeling towards my subject? Mr. Howard? Really excited, right? A tone of excitement. Okay? Hey, Mr. Howard. How you doing today? Was your weekend awesome? What's my tone towards Mr. Howard? Henderson checking in the corner. Kind of sad, right? I'm not really sad. I'm more brown. Mark.
You really had a bad weekend.
Okay, kind of down with the dumps, Mr. Barnes. A little depressed, right? Totally take that. Continuing on. The subject is what the author is writing about. The author's tone is expressed through the words he or she uses. Words such as depressed or amused. When do you want to begin writing? So we have 6 minutes. Can describe an author's tone. Make sure you have these notes written down. Remember, tone is how the author's feeling towards his or her subject. It's how the author's feeling towards his or her subject. We're going to turn the page in 3, 2, turn. I want you to go straight to the you do. I want you to cross out the guided questions. We're just going to do 1 and 2. We're just going to do what class?
1 and 2.
At 85%, we're just going to do what class?
1 and 2.
Show me with your fingers which questions we're going to do. 1, 2. Good. And down. By yourself, I want you to read this passage from the ones that's go to Birmingham. Figure out how is the author feeling because of a certain word. Then we'll share out. You have 2 minutes. Begin.